morning, guitar. Today we are on page 7 of our book, and we're going to be looking at exercises 12, 13, and 14. We're going to be talking about the alternating apoyando picado technique, and we will also be talking about using a flat pick. So we just learned notes on the second string, and we know that these are called open second string is B. The first fret second string is C, and the third fret second string is D. And we played through exercises 9 through 11. We talked about the bridging technique that we used, for example, when we did E, F, and G, and we applied that here. So like with any good exercise, we're going to look over each one of these. We'll tell ourselves the name of the notes. We'll fret them to get ourselves physically and mentally ready for it, and we'll see if we find any bridging points. So in exercise 12, I see a B, C, B, C, D, C, so here's a bridge, another D, another C, so this whole thing right there can be bridged. Back to open B, C, D, back to C, so there's another bridge, and the open B. I also see that these are mostly quarter notes and then ending with a whole note at the end. So let's go ahead and set our metronome. Here it goes. So as you watch that video, what you want to make sure you're seeing is that when we go from C to D back to C, the first finger stays down, and also the right hand is alternating I and M in what is called the apoyando, or rest stroke. Picado is the alternating. I'll play through number 12 again. 2, here it is. Now for number 12, when we play with the pick, remember holding it kind of like a flag down towards the end. This is what it looks like while you're holding it. We're going to do all downstrokes. 2, here it is. So the trick to get a nice powerful pick sound is to lightly plant the wrist on the bridge of the guitar back here. And when you're striking on anything other than the first string, when you strike through, just like we do with the fingerstyle, we're going to do a rest stroke. The difference, though, is that the rest stroke is going in the downward direction. So when I strike down, you should notice that the pick lands on the first string without playing it. So it's not, but it's just. And that allows me to put a lot of power, because if you don't do that, then you have to hit it lightly. Or you can do and let the string catch it. Okay, we'll see that in practice when we do exercise 13. Let's go to exercise 13. We're going to say the names of the notes. So we have B, C, B, C, D. Now I know this is a half note, so that's on count 1. The space is count 2. Back to B. This is count 3. The space is count 4, so we let those ring. C, C, D, C. Oh, there's a bridge. Good. Ready for that. And then a whole note B. So here I have some rhythmic difference. I got quarter notes, half notes, quarter notes, whole notes. I found one bridge in there. So now I'm ready for this. And I'm going to play fingerstyle. 1, 2. Here it is. 2, 3, 4. And now I'll play with the pick. 1, 2, here it is. 2, All right. So feel free to pause this video, go back and play along with both of those exercises. You want to have both of those down, because now once we move on to exercise 14, you should see that this is called moving from string to string. You've learned 6 notes now. 3 are on the first string, 3 are on the second string. The following exercises, you will be moving from string to string. As you are playing one note, look ahead to the next and get your fingers in position. So reading music and playing music is just like reading a book, either in your head or out loud. You don't read one word at a time. Your eyes see many words, and then we put the pieces together. So this is what we're working on in terms of music literacy. So what we can see in exercise 14 is that we have the note B, C, D, E, F, and G. And we know that B, C, and D are on the second string. That's what that number 2 there on the line represents. All of this is the second string. We know that E, F, and G are on the first string. That's what this number 1 represents, and the line going over here. And then these are telling us what finger. So finger open. Open meaning no finger first. So we know C is played with the first, D is played with the third, E is played open, F is played with the first, and G is played with the third. That's also being marked here. Sometimes you see that notation in written music. The 0 next to the B means play it open. The 1 next to the C meaning you're going to use your first finger. This is not necessarily marking a fret. It's marking a finger. The 3 is telling us that this D is the third finger. And I say it's not necessarily telling us the fret because while it's true that C is both the first finger and the first fret, and D is both the third finger and the third fret, doesn't mean you can't play those same exact notes somewhere else. There's actually 5 different places you can play those exact notes that are not the frets that are marked next to these. So those are not fret markings. These here are finger markings, and that's the more traditional way you would see it, or you can mark it in your own books for when you're learning an exercise like this. So for exercise 14, we're just going to play straight up B through G. 2, here it is. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And now we do that with a pick. 1, 2, here it is. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, and 4. All right. So working today on exercises 12 through 14, because as you can see in 15 and 16 and everything after that, we're going to be using all of the notes that we've learned. Everything here is cumulative. There's nothing we learn and then get rid of. Everything always comes back. So make sure that we practice exercises 12 and 13 to be ready for those upcoming exercises.